When we browse the list of models, any models based on data sources that support scheduling display a View More link in the Data Sources column. This link takes us directly to the Data Sources tab of the model. In this case, the model has two sources available for scheduling, and no schedules are currently set. We can click the refresh icons beside either of these sources to immediately trigger the default import action based on the settings used when the source was originally imported. Alternatively, we can schedule data sources on a one-time or repeating basis. We can view or change the import settings for each source if desired. In this case, the Update Import method is currently selected. This method preserves the existing data, updates any existing records that have been changed, and imports any new data. The Append option preserves existing data and imports all records in the source. Note that if records already imported to the model are present in the data source, these records may be duplicated, resulting in incorrect values. With the Clean and Replace Selected Version Data option, the existing data is deleted and replaced for the selected version only. Note that the version to which the data is imported is determined by the settings applied when the data source was originally imported. With the Clean and Replace Subset of Data option, we can choose the dimensions for which we want to replace the data. Data for other dimensions is preserved. In this case, we'll use the Update option. In the Other Options area, the default settings are based on the options selected when the data was originally imported. We can change these options if desired. Finally, we have the option to reset the model to delete the data for all versions before performing the selected import procedure. In this case, we won't change any of the default settings. Note that for some data source types, such as SAP BW, SAP Universes, SQL databases, and SuccessFactors, we also have the option to edit the original query prior to triggering a refresh action. In this example, this option is not available. Now we'll select both sources and create a schedule. By default, the schedule is set to stop if any query fails. We can set the schedule to skip any failed queries instead, if desired. We're also set to refresh the sources in the order they were originally imported. We can change the order by dragging and dropping the sources. Next, we need to set the frequency. The None option preserves the schedule settings without scheduling a data refresh. Alternatively, we can choose a one-time refresh or a repeating one. We'll set the refresh to run monthly, beginning today and ending at the end of the year. The schedule has been saved. After the schedule has been run, we can see the outcome. Note that if there are issues with some records, such as invalid measure values, we can download a spreadsheet containing the rejected rows. There's also an option to be notified of refresh failures by email if desired. We can use the View All Schedules option to view, edit, or execute any of the data refresh schedules for which we have permissions. We can also access this screen by navigating to the Connection area and going to the Schedule Status tab. Thanks for watching.